Rosie McCory was only 11 years old when she had to face the toughest choice of her young life, a choice no child should ever have to make. Agree to have her genitals cut, mutilated, and get married to a man 3 times her age, or risk her life and her family and run away from home. Rosie had heard about female genital mutilation a few days earlier when Robi Samweli, a human rights champion, came to her school in northern Tanzania. Robi herself was cut at the age of 13 and nearly died. She now runs a safe house to protect girls at risk of FGM. As Tanzania's cutting season was about to get underway, Robi minced no words. "If you go through FGM," she said to Rosie and the other girls, "you might die, and even if you survive, you face a lifetime of health problems, both physical and emotional. Your education will stop. Your parents will marry you off. Your dreams will end." Rosie was scared. Female genital mutilation or cutting is the partial or total removal of a girl's external genitalia. It has no benefits. It does only harm. It is the worst systematic human rights and sexual rights abuse perpetrated against girls and women in the world today. There are more than 200 million survivors, 3.9 million girls at risk each year. That's more than 10,000 girls a day. 10,000 girls a day. Contrary to what many believe, FGM has no basis in religion. And it's not just an African problem. Oh no. It's a global issue, from Peru to Russia, Malaysia to Iran, from Egypt to Tanzania. FGM is an issue. And now it's an issue in the West as well, from Europe to Australia to North America. Right here in Canada, we have thousands of survivors who get little support and thousands of girls at risk with no protocols to save them from vacation cutting. When Rosie returned home that night, the young devout Christian girl asked her mother, "Mama, are you planning to cut me? Is it true?" Her mother replied, "Yes, Rosie. It was your grandfather's dying wish that all the girls in the family be cut." Rosie was scared. Scared of running away, but more scared of being cut. The next morning, she plucked up her courage. She packed a few belongings in a plastic bag, and she bolted to Robi Samweli's safe house. She was the only girl from her village who ran away that cutting season. It was in Robi's safe house in Mugumu that I first met Rosie McCory and the other brave girls whose stories we tell in our documentary, In the Name of Your Daughter. The girls told me how some of the parents tried to seduce them into getting cut with promises of presents, how other parents threatened and bullied the girls if they protested, how girls were tied up and forcibly cut if they refused. Rosie and the others are completely clear. This is not about culture. This is about human rights. This is child abuse, and they want it stopped. They want it stopped, not just for themselves, but for girls everywhere in the world. I feel so honored that these girls had faith in me to be their trusted messenger, that they trusted me to bring their voices to the world, voices that have been silenced for thousands of years. And we in the West have been part of the silencing. We have all but ignored this brutal form of sexual control. Some have prioritized cultural diversity over the human rights of children. Others are hiding behind a wall of silence, afraid of being called racist. The question is this: how far would you go to save your own daughter, your own precious child, from the harm that is FGM? And why aren't we plucking up our courage to step up and save other children from harm, budding young flowers full of potential, ready to blossom into beautiful young women? Rosie was eventually reunited with her mother, and she is still safe. She's using her power to be a force for change. She and her friends need our help. They don't care about the color of your skin, your religion, or your ethnicity. They just want us to support them in their quest to end FGM. And Rosie's message to the world is clear and simple. We must not be cut. We must be loved. And love means not cutting us. And so I challenge you to use your power for good, to use your power to fight FGM, to speak up and to step up. And you can start right now this morning by writing an End FGM message on one of the yellow flower petals you'll see around the conference. Do it for Rosie and for all the brave girls who risked their lives to follow their dreams. Do it in the name of your daughter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giselle. Thank you for the work that you do. And what's up next for you in your quest for documenting with a human rights lens?
Well, I'm hoping what's next is actually to make a documentary about the issue in Canada. I've been trying to make this documentary for exactly 10 years. And because there is such a wall of silence around the issue, I haven't found any broadcasters or any financial support to make this documentary. But I think with this documentary made in Tanzania, I was able to get more attention focused already. And I'm hoping to get the funding to make the documentary about the issue in Canada, because girls are suffering in silence. Girls are being taken away for vacation cutting. Girls arrive in Canada already cut. There is no support for them, or indeed for their mothers who have special health issues. So that's what I'm hoping to focus on, to bring change and make change right here in our own country.
So that is how you will use your power for good, it seems.
That is my power for good. I really believe this is the worst form of sexual abuse and human rights abuse, and we all have a role to play. I challenge you all today, please join me in speaking up. Don't be frightened. You know, we're fighting against child marriage. Those are words that trip off the tongue easily. Female genital mutilation is a little more difficult, but once we can say it out loud, we can act on it. So I challenge you, I ask you, I beg you to join the fight against FGM.
Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And good luck with your work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.